Alright guys, today we're going to learn about vertical and horizontal lines. A vertical line is written in the form x equals a, where a represents the line's x-intercept. So it's going to be right here. That's at x, so that's at the x-intercept of 3. When it's going through the x-axis, it's going to be a vertical line, and it's going to end up being x equals 3. That's how you would write that line. Give me 1 second, adjusting my mask. Okay. When you see a horizontal line, it's going to be the form y equals a. A represents the line's y-intercept. So if you look right here, here's the line. You can see it's crossing through at this point right here. That point is at y-intercept -1. So the way you write that equation is y equals -1. So starting down here, you look at what point your line is going through. It's vertical and it's going through this point right here, x equals -2. So it's just x equals -2. It's that easy. This point here, it's going through the y-axis at point 3. So it's going to be y equals 3. For number 3, the line is down here. It's going at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be at y equals -5. Okay, I'm going to give you some time. Go ahead and pause the video and try 4, 5, and 6, and then I'll go through them. But I have a 15-minute time limit, so I'm going to have to continue. But go ahead and pause if you need to, and then I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6 so you can check yourself. Alright, this point goes 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be x equals 4. This point is going here. This is where you have to know it is a vertical line, so it is going through the x-axis. You see how this is a vertical, this is also vertical, so it's going to be x equals 0. Y equals 0 would be going this way. Okay, here, y equals 2 is a horizontal line, y equals 2. Okay. So I know you probably don't have graph paper. If you do, you can totally get it out. So what I want you to do on these is kind of do a rough draft sketch to practice. So these, instead of seeing the graph, you're going to graph it. So what I would do is draw a mini graph. If it's y equals 5, the intercept 5 is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, I'm just making up, how far up it would go. And then your line has to go through this point, so it's going to go this way, like this. So if I go ahead and do that on this regular graph, y equals 5, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you draw your line through it. Easy peasy. Okay, x equals -1. You find where x is -1, that's right here. And then you're going to draw your line through it. Okay. For x equals 3 right here. X ones are going to be vertical. It's going to go through like this. This is the time now. If you want to go ahead and pause the video and try these problems on your own, I would do that. And then unpause the video and check and see if you're getting these right. Alright, hopefully you're back from the video being paused. On number 10, we've got y equals -2. That would be right here. It's going to be a horizontal line. Y equals 4. 2, 3, 4. And then we have x equals -7. 2, 3, 6, 7. And it would be a vertical line. Now, 13 says, so 13, 14, 15 are the last kind of problems we're doing for this section. It's going to ask you what the slope is. So what I would do is go ahead and draw one of those kind of graphs like this to check. If we have the line y equals 4, if I draw a graph like this, y equals 4 would be right here, and it would be a line like this. It would be flat. Remember, when the line is flat, the person can walk on it like this, it's going to be a slope of 0. So when it's y, the slope is 0. Now, what is the slope of the line x equals -2? Here's where x equals -2, the line would go like this. Remember, if it's a line going up and down, the person would not be able to walk on this. It wouldn't work. So that's going to be undefined. So if you want to, go ahead and pause the video, think about what you would get for 15, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, when you're back, it says, what is the slope of the line x equals 0? So that would look like x is 0 here. It's going to go vertically like this. So if it's vertical, it has to be undefined. Of course, just like the other x equal right here. Okay? All right. Okay, this is a little more challenging. At the beginning, it's going to look like a lot of work, but it's not really. At the beginning, it's just going to look like a lot because I'm explaining it step by step, slowly, and going through it and dragging it out. Okay, so what we're learning, we've already learned slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. We've learned standard form, the ax plus by equals c, the form we don't like. And now we're going to learn about point slope form. The first formula you need for that is slope formula, which we already should know. And that's going to be one of the things to help you get point slope formula, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So, with these questions, it says write the equation of a line that passes through the given 2 points, write all final answers in slope-intercept form. So they want you to do it in this form, and then convert that form to y equals mx plus b. It might sound scary, it's not too bad. We'll go through it, we'll practice. So on number 1, if you're given 2 points, the first thing you need to do to write an equation is find your slope. So I'm going to go ahead and do label. I get y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. -1 minus 7 is -8. 1 minus a -3 is going to give me 4. -8 divided by 4 is -2. So that's my slope. Okay. Then what you do is you get to pick one of these points. Personally, I always pick the point that is the easier numbers, the smaller numbers. So I'm going to pick this one here. That's going to be my x1 and my y1. I know this says x2 and y2 here, but remember they're interchangeable. You could have had these be your x2 and y2. This could have been your x1 and y1. Doesn't matter. So now that you have these three, you can write this formula. So I'm going to rewrite the formula again. So y'all can see what I'm plugging in. So it's going to go, oh, I'm sorry, not y2. Sorry, just y. This y stays the same. Then minus y1, here's my y1, minus a -1, equals m, my slope was -2, times x minus x1, my x1 value is 1. Minus a negative gives me a positive. So this is your point slope form. This is what we have right here. You could just scribble out one of these plus signs, that would be point slope. But they want us to convert it to this form. So the last thing we have to do is get y by itself. First thing you need to do is distribute. So you get y plus 1 equals -2 times x is -2x. -2 times -1 is a +2. Subtract your 1. You get y equals -2x plus 1. That's the form they want. Okay. If you need time to write these points down, go ahead and pause. It's just I got about 4 minutes left on time. So I'm going to go ahead and label. We got y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Turns into a positive. Negative 4 plus 7 is 3. Minus the negative turns into a positive. 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 over 9 reduces to 1/3. That is your slope. Then you pick the set of coordinates you want to use. I'm going to pick this one because it's smaller. It's my x1 and my y1. Alright, so then I'm going to plug them into my point slope formula. So I get y minus y1 is negative 4 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. If it's minus the negative, that turns into a positive 4. Now again, this is point slope form. That is totally an option that you may be asked for on a test, but they want us to convert it into slope, or slope intercept formula. So first you distribute. You get y plus 4 equals 1/3 x. 1/3 times negative 3 is negative 1. Then we still need to get y by itself, so we subtract 4. And we get y equals 1/3 x minus 5. And that is for problem 2. So if you need to pause that, that's the whole problem. Okay. Number 3, we got x1, y1, x2, y2, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Minus the negative gives me a positive. Be negative 5 over 4 minus 2 is 2. That's my slope. You pick your points. I'm going to pick this one because it looks better to me. I'm going to plug them into the equation. Y minus y1 is a negative 1 equals m, negative 5/2, times x minus x1 is 2. Minus the negative gives me a positive. Again, I need to get y by itself. I need to convert this, so I have to distribute. This is a positive. Looks kind of weird. Negative 5/2 times x is negative 5/2 x. Negative 5/2 times negative 2 is a positive 5 equals y plus 1. Because remember, the 2 positives, it's the same as 1 positive. Subtract 1, you get y equals negative 5/2 x plus 4. That is all the time I have in this video. I'll probably give you one more YouTube video for you to watch as an option in case you want extra practice. But that's it for today. We will continue and do more of these problems tomorrow. I will be back in class tomorrow. Okay? Alright, y'all have a good one.